welcome on into another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Nick beside me, Dave down below. Justin, smash the like. Thanks, Justin, much appreciated. We'll start with tomorrow's show. We'll be on at noon instead of 1, just because there's a few 1 o'clock games. So I figure we'll just move it up so that if people want to put best bets in those earlier games, they're able to. Usually there's just one, so we just skip it, but I think there's a few tomorrow. So show will be on at noon tomorrow. But we will jump right into the slate. And we'll start with Friday night NFL. We got preseason action here in the NFL this Friday night. I do not have any action in the football NFL games tonight, but I obviously wanted to have it on the card here in case. I know, Nick, you have some thoughts or some bets, and Dave, you may have some thoughts. So I'll turn it over to you. All I would say here before going to Nick, from everything I've heard, Carolina is not going to have any of their starters in, especially their top two quarterbacks. So if I was going to get to anything, maybe New England money line in a parlay with something else, but not going to get anything here, I don't think. I was on that under yesterday, and I thought I lost, went to bed, and I was informed that the touchdown was taken away and it stayed under. So maybe unders, but nothing here for me. Nick, what do you think here about the NFL preseason?
Yeah, that's exactly like my theme of the week is looking at teams that, or looking at in general, and with last week being such a heavy over week and seeing the books over adjust to it, because we were seeing 33s, 33 and a halves last week. Now we're seeing 40s and 42s and 44s in some games. And I just think that the books are over adjusting with what happened last week, and everybody's going to continue to be like, oh, we just saw every game go over last week, or almost every game go over last week. So I have, spoiler, unders in all 3 games. I think that we're going to see a major adjustment towards the unders this week. We're going to see less starters. And then next week, maybe a little bit more of an over week again, because next week is the last preseason week. That's the dress rehearsals before opening day or before week 1. And that's when you're going to generally see more starters in the game and things along those lines. But for this week, I'm going to make this short and sweet and simple. All 3 unders tonight. I got under 40 with the Patriots and the Panthers, under 38.5 with the Saints and the Packers, under 38 with the Rams and the Texans.
All right. If you want more NFL talk, we did our NFL season preview show. You can find it obviously on the YouTube channel here. So if you want to hear more of our thoughts, you can watch that video there. Dave, Friday night preseason football. Is there anything that you're liking tonight? And I know you were on that under with me yesterday. What a sweat, eh?
Yeah, it's got to, for me, and I've said this of preseason, it's got to catch my eye. I'm full bore when NFL season starts. It's actually where I started capping, was that sport. But it's really got to catch my eye. Last night the under did, but last night is the complete reason why I don't really cap preseason. That game should have been way under, and they look like a bunch of monkeys trying to screw in a light bulb. It was crazy. That fumble punt return that went into the end zone, and then the guy that caught the ball and he dropped it, and then it looks like he got concussed. He hit his head. It's like a bunch of little kids. It's a bunch of practice squad players right now trying to compete to be on the practice squad. The only thing that tickles my fancy is seeing the worst team in football favored over the Super Bowl champions. Houston, I think they're at -2.5 or -2. Yep. That interests me. I'm going to look at that game a little bit more. I did read that basically the Rams are not playing any of their first and most of their second string. But here's the question. Is the practice squad on the Rams better than Houston starting? No, I would say no, but I need to jump in a little bit more. I'm probably taking Houston, and I don't know what the money line is. I might do that in case it's a closer game, but
I can find you a money line real quick.
Yeah, let's see what that is.
You can get the Texans on my book at -140 on the money line, -130 on DraftKings there.
Don't like it, so I'd take the point. I'd lay the points, but something tells me Houston can only be a favorite. It's kind of like betting the Pirates. When the Pirates are a dog or a favorite, you bet them. The A's, when they're a favorite, you bet them, and I think it's the same.
Like the Dodgers, when they're a dog, you bet against them.
You bet against them, yeah. When it's so obvious, I mean, it's don't overthink this one. So I'm going to jump into it, but I'm probably on the Texans tonight. It'll probably be the only time I'm on the Texans the entire season.
Yeah, I can get on board with the Texans there. And another thing that I actually heard that was kind of interesting is when we look at the Rams this offseason, what they do? They paid their big players. Jalen Ramsey got paid. Matthew Stafford got paid. All these big players. And then Cooper Kupp got paid. You know who's not getting paid as much now? Their depth. Third and fourth strings, which we're going to see a lot of tonight, are not as good because they spent so much money on their top guys. So that's something to keep in mind. That's the Super Bowl tax. It's similar to what we're seeing with the Tampa Bay Lightning with the Cup tax and stuff like that. Same with the Avalanche. When teams win championships, their depth starts to go down a little bit because they have to pay their bigger guys more money. That's why we see teams not be able to stay on the top for as long.
Yeah, the other thing too is the Texans, they kind of have to figure out. The Rams know who they are. The Texans have no effing clue who they are. So they have to let their starters go further. They have to figure their real deal out. The Rams this is a practice for the Rams. So, good point about the depth issues, but it just makes me want to take that bet even more.
Yep. That's the only side I'm interested in tonight.
Richie likes Texas first 5.
I don't mind it.
We will get to baseball here in a bit.
Is that Texans or Texas?
Texas.
I got you.
First 5. There's no first 5s in football.
Yeah, that's how I could tell it was. That's the only way I could tell it was.
I was joking. I knew what was up.
Okay.
Moving on along, we do have 2 CFL games tonight. Edmonton, Ottawa, BC, and Saskatchewan. I do not have anything in the Edmonton, Ottawa game. That is 2 bums fighting it out. There you can take plus 5.5 with Edmonton if you think it's going to be a close game, but I will not be getting involved. But I do love the second game here, and whoa, you can now find BC for -3. So the line is kind of moving kind of against me here, but I'm not too worried. I am on BC money line. BC -3.5, -110, and I have BC money line in a parlay with another game. This BC team is just dominant. They already defeated Saskatchewan in Saskatchewan's home stadium, and I don't see anything really changing here in this one. Saskatchewan has played all the bad teams that are in the league. Basically, their whole schedule. The one good team they faced is this BC team, and they lost by double digits. So I'm going to keep backing this BC team. They've made me money basically all season long, except for the one game against Winnipeg. And then there's been a couple of games where I haven't actually bet them, but every other game that I bet them, they have come through for me. So I'm going to take them here. BC money line, which you can get from around -155, is a great parlay piece. But I would still take BC -3. I would definitely take the -3. But even if you have to get -3.5, I think the BC is just the far superior team here. So I like the BC Lions here. Nick, CFL tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, we get the future Grey Cup matchup here with the Ottawa Red Blacks and the Edmonton Elks, the 2 best teams in the CFL. Edmonton 2-7, Ottawa's 1-7. So we obviously get a great matchup to start the week here. And I did take the Elks plus 4.5, mainly for the fact that I don't think Ottawa should be laying points at all this season. And when we look at what Edmonton has done this year, their 2 wins so far this season were on the road against East teams. So I think that could continue as well. They won in Hamilton, and then they also won where was it? They won in Hamilton, and they won in Montreal. Both really close games where they had to make comebacks. But I think that you shouldn't have to lay points, or the Ottawa Red Blacks should not be laying points against anybody in this league, home or road. So I think that Edmonton at the very least keeps this close. So I'm on the Elks plus the 4.5. And then I did take a shot here with I got +5. This line's dropped 2 points, so I'm happy with the line I got. I took 5 with the Riders here. They're at home. This is a really good home field advantage in Saskatchewan that the Rough Riders do have. And yes, they did play a couple weeks ago. It was 17-4 Riders actually to start the game, and then BC kind of ran away with the game after that. Saskatchewan was blanked in the second half. I don't see that happening again, and I don't see it being an absolute blowout here. I think this is actually actually a closer game than people might think. This Saskatchewan defense is getting healthier, which I think can help slow down BC just a little bit here. So I think 5 points. Now it's down to 3. I think at 3, the price is correct. I think this line should have been around at that 3 mark. So if you can get 3 and a hook at minimum with Saskatchewan, I think that this is a field goal type of game. I think that probably BC wins this game, but doesn't cover. So I'm on the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. I got it at +5. I could see this being a spot here where it could be also a potential letdown spot here for BC, who had to come all the way back against one of the best teams in the CFL and the Calgary Stampeders. So after that emotional high, you just beat this team with the Riders here. Maybe they overlook them. I can see this as a letdown spot for the Lions here. I don't think that I'm not calling for an outright upset in this game, but I do think 5 points is too many for Saskatchewan at home.
All right. So me and Nick are going head to head here with the BC game, BC and Saskatchewan. So we'll see what happens. We'll move on along to baseball. I have 4 games picked out here, and then we'll obviously have last pitch. Looking at the game that we have going on already, it's currently 4-3 Cubs in the top of the third against Milwaukee. So that's pretty interesting here. I did not get into any action in that game. So no action for me there. But I do have action here in this game. The Blue Jays and the Yankees. You can find Toronto -110 to -118. The Yankees you can get for -110 to +100. 8's, a couple 7.5s available here in this one. The Jays, I said in yesterday's show, I was wondering if that 6-run explosion against Baltimore would lead to the Jays offense coming out here against New York. And they certainly did that. And I said yesterday, there's no way the Jays team total should be at 3.5. Even with this team struggles as of late. Right now, you can find the team total over 3.5, but it's like -130. You can find 4 -105. I didn't get to the total in this one. I am on the Jays money line, which I got at -104. The best price to get it now is -110. I'm also on Springer over 1.5 total bases at +110. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 bases at +102. Those are both full unit plays as well. Springer, since coming off the IL, has just smashed the ball. He went 5 for 5 last night. I don't need him to go 5 for 5 tonight. I just need a double or a couple singles, and I'm all set. Vladdy, once again, found a way to hit a home run here.
A unicorn.
And a lot of people commented on the ball that he hit and how there's no way someone should be able to hit a home run off that. But Vladdy was able to do it. I didn't take Vladdy to get a home run tonight, which you could. I wouldn't talk anybody off of. But I did take his over 1.5 bases at +102 because, again, I just need a couple singles or a double. And I think Vladdy can do that. And I think the Jays will get the win here. Gausman on the road is elite. Not so much at home, but on the road, he is very good this year, and I look for it to continue tonight. Jameson Taillon has pitched very well against the Jays this year, but is looking shaky in his last few games, and this Yankees team is looking shaky. Yes, I am a Blue Jays fan, but if the Yankees don't watch out, that lead can disappear pretty quick. Nick, Blue Jays, Yankees, what do you think in this one?
Yeah, we have two untrustworthy teams where we've made money fading them in the last little bit. And I made one mistake with last night's game between these two teams, and that was betting it because I can't stand either of these teams betting wise right now. And all they've done is lose me money all year, it feels like. And I want nothing to do with this game. I started looking at Fangraphs. They have a page where it has the day's games with an implied chance of the team winning the game. And actually, I was looking at those, and I found 6 teams that were have at least 15 cents of line value where Fangraphs projected the line should be compared to where the line actually is. And the Blue Jays are one of those 6 teams. They were projected around 133, 135 favorites, and they're around minus 110. So you're seeing around 20, 25 cents of line value with the Jays tonight. So I guess that would be my lean in this game, but I want nothing to do with either of these teams right now.
Hey, so the Jays right now to
They're
you
slowly
are what the
becoming
Mets
my
are to
team
me.
not to be named.
Yeah, the Jays are not now the team who must not be named for you. We'll go back to Wellington's comment because I didn't address it because someone was talking. I myself am not on the game. If I had to take anything, it would probably be the Patriots money line in a parlay. But obviously, it's preseason. You don't want to force anything. Do either of you guys have an opinion on the side in that Patriots game?
If you haven't bet the Patriots by now, don't bet it now. You've missed all the line value. You've missed the good line. You could have gotten them at plus money earlier in the week. You could have gotten them for minus 3 earlier in the week. Now that it's up to 6.5, there's no reason to bet this game for the sidewise unless you're taking Carolina.
There you go. Dave, if you have anything to say about the Patriots and what you think about this game, what do you think?
Nothing about the Patriots. And this game, we're talking about Guerrero's hitting pitches that you shouldn't be able to hit. I don't know if you guys watched his dad play. I mean, he was an angel, so I knew.
Oh, yeah.
He could hit the ball. He could hit a ball skipping on 450 feet. It was crazy. So, anyways, I don't know how, and he's a Hall of Famer. So, hopefully, his son has the same career. But, anyways, this game, I wanted to take the Blue Jays. I stayed off. Gossman is very good on the road. Taillon isn't horrible at home. Problem is, these two teams are both in a huge funk. I mean, especially the Yankees now, really at the bottom of the league the past 2 weeks at the plate. It doesn't mean they can't wake up. It doesn't mean the Blue Jays can't wake up. However, if the Blue Jays win this game, because the Blue Jays have been so streaky, I'm on the Blue Jays. I think they have to do one. I think they're not quite over the hump. It's been one game, but we've seen them. We saw them kind of putter into the All-Star break and then be the best team in baseball for a couple weeks after the All-Star break and then be crappy again. So I'm off this game. I lean towards the Blue Jays. I don't hate that a bet on the Blue Jays, but I need one more game.
All right. Dave needs one more game. I kind of needed to see it yesterday after that Baltimore 6-run explosion. And I've went big today. We'll definitely see what happens in this one. Next up, we have a really interesting game actually here for me with the Royals and the Rays. You can find Kansas City plus 160 to plus 175. Tampa Bay minus 200 to minus 210. I see a 215 as well. 6.5 right across the board. 1-6 in this one. For me, I went to the first 5 and I took Kansas City first 5 plus a half at plus 108 here at FanDuel, and it is still currently that price. I like it. I want to talk anybody off. It's big plus money with KC here on the money line. The issue is I don't trust Kansas City enough to take them on the money line, but I'll take plus money for the plus a half. If this thing is tied, I cash a plus money play. If Kansas City's up, I still cash a plus money play. So for me, it's a plus a half, a plus 108. I liked McClanahan, Nick. When credit is due, credit needs to be given out. And you said McClanahan was coming up to his high in pitching in innings, and right around before the All-Star break. And ever since then, he's got hit a little bit better in his last game. Obviously, the Royals lineup is nothing to be scared about, but they do have their times where they play well. But for me, it's Brady Singer in his last 2 games against the Dodgers and the White Sox. He's allowed 1 earned run total against the White Sox, nothing against the Dodgers. 6 and 7 strikeouts, going 6 or 7 innings, getting the win in both. For me, he's a bet on pitcher right now. So first 5 plus a half for Kansas City. Nick, Royals and Rays, what do you think in this one?
Yeah, this is dogger pass for me. I did not get to this game at the moment. I do like Brady Singer and the Royals in this spot. Like I mentioned a while ago, pitchers coming in on their innings limits are going to start to struggle, especially the younger ones, McClanahan being one of those pitchers. Fangraphs has this line projected around Tampa Bay minus 195, so there's really no value on the line here with either of these teams, according to that. For me, this is just, it's dog or pass, and even at 6.5, I feel like this could be under or pass because we've seen Brady Singer be able to go out there and shell out a show, and this is not a crazy good lineup with Kansas City, so I can see them struggle to hit again a little bit against McClanahan. I can see this being like a 2-1 Royals win. So I would still lean under in this game, and I lean Royals. I did not get to either spot, though.
All right. Dave, Royals and Rays, any thoughts on this one here?
Yeah, if this was first half of the season, this would be a situation where I'd be finding a way to back Shane McClanahan. He was one of my favorite pitchers the first half of the season. The thing that I saw, I watched the All-Star game, and he was a loser of the All-Star game. And now I was the most excited to watch him and Alek Manoah pitch because Alek Manoah is a hothead and he's fun to watch. And Shane McClanahan was doing so well. But then he looked awful in the All-Star game. And I thought to myself, well, maybe it's just a different stage. Maybe it's a game that no one cares about. But he hasn't pitched the same since that game. And they're hard to back. And Singer is a good pitcher. He's no slouch. Obviously the Royals are horrible at the plate. I guess if I had to, gun to my head is some sort of under. I mean, these Tampa Bay's bullpen's horrible. Kansas City's middle of the line, so you might want to, look at a first 5 under or something like that. But I just stayed away just because I knew that I'd look at the game and it'd probably be a Royals spot or and I don't want to bet against Shane just yet, so I stayed off this game.
All right. Yeah, I don't really get excited to go back Kansas City either, so yeah. I get it. But moving on, BetStamp, use code WILD when signing up. Line shopping, find the best odds for whatever you are betting. Sometimes you can find up to 20-cent differences, sometimes even more. So make sure to find the best odds for whatever you like on the slate. We will jump on into the next game here. The Giants are in Colorado facing the Rockies. You can find San Francisco minus 155 to minus 163. Colorado plus 135 to plus 140. 11s, I see 110.5. This is actually a game where the odds are pretty much close right across the board in this game here. For me, when I saw Alex Wood's ERA in Colorado, and I saw that the Rockies team total was at 4.5 at minus 115, I decided that I'm going to take that play in this game. I'm not going to back aside. I don't trust Urena, that's for sure. And I don't trust the Rockies. But I think the Rockies at home here in Coors Field, they've historically done well here against Wood. And I think they can get some runs off him. The bullpen, whatever. I just need 5 runs. And I think in Coors Field, that's not too much to ask for the home team. So I'll take the Rockies here. Team total over 4.5. Nick, Giants, Rockies. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, this is one I did take a shot with the underdog in this game. I took the Rockies in the first 5 innings at plus 150. Actually, when I was looking at it, this is one that me and Fangraphs disagreed on because they had the projected line for the Giants around minus 200 when they were on minus 155. They're one of the better value plays on the day, according to Fangraphs, their win-on probability. So that was kind of interesting to see. But I took a shot with the Rockies here only in the first 5 innings. I can see them giving up the lead late. because bullpens are bullpens. And we see high-scoring games with these all the time, so there's high volatility in these games. So I can definitely see a late-game comeback for the Giants. That's why I only took the first 5 here. But I did take a shot here with the underdog with the Rockies at plus 150 in the first 5.
All right. Well, I hope Rockies score a bunch of runs early, and then we're both looking good. Dave, Giants, Rockies. What do you think here?
So I'm on the other side, Terry. I think there's a couple things going on. So I had before I really jumped into handicapping baseball. I used to bet the first game in a series at Core Stadium. I used to bet the under, and it just seemed to be the better bet. Then when I jumped into it, I realized, especially talking with other people that travel to Colorado, whether it be minor league players or major league players that travel there, the altitude does affect you, especially the first day. For people that are seasick people, altitude sickness people, they're not right for a day and a half. So that and also the internal clock thing. Even if you're not traveling cross country, the altitude has something to do with it. So that's sort of that angle. But then I started to look into Colorado versus left-handed pitching. We know that they've done so well this season, but at home, expanded it out the last 30 days. They haven't been hitting left-handed pitching at home very well. And then San Francisco hasn't been hitting right-handed pitching on the road. And both of these pitchers, actually, I shouldn't say that. Urena hasn't faced the Giants. But Alec Wood, one of my favorite fades, don't like the guy as a pitcher, don't know him as a person, but don't like him as a pitcher. He's done pretty well versus Colorado. So the only thing I'm scared of in going with an under here is Colorado's bullpen. San Francisco's has been okay. Colorado's has been bad. But if you're not hitting the ball, it doesn't matter. So I think it's at 11.5 still, or at least that's what I got it at. I like the under. Hopefully the Rockies score 6 runs and it's 6-4 or 6-3. But it's an underplay for me, and I'm betting that game.
All right. I only need 5 over 4.5.
Oh, 4.5. Okay. Well, then
5-1 sounds great. And then we're all happy.
Love it.
We'll go on here to the next one. We have, I think, one of the hottest teams in baseball here in the St. Louis Cardinals against Arizona team that's also playing pretty good baseball right now, surprisingly. Here, you can find the Cardinals minus 180 to minus 190. Arizona plus 150 to plus 160. 8.5s right across the board in this one. For me, I'm backing the St. Louis Cardinals team. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I've been backing them here, so I'm right back on the run line, minus 106. And I said I had a second team in my BC money line parlay from the CFL, and that is the St. Louis Cardinals team. St. Louis and BC both on the money line, plus 148 for a full 1-unit play. I'm confident in this Cardinals team to keep on chugging along here. I really like what I've seen from them. I was looking at Goldschmidt over 1.5 bases. You're looking at minus 130 for that. So not really not a price that I want to pay. But he has just been smashing the ball here. And as Cubano said earlier, Goldschmidt home run would be number 30. So Cubano thinks he gets there. I would not talk you off that. The other thing here, so we do have a lefty pitching here, Henry, 2-1 with a 4.15 ERA. Hasn't really pitched a whole lot. He has actually won his last 2 games in Coors Field against the Rockies and then against Pittsburgh. So now he's going to get to face, and then he did a loss against Cleveland, who we all know can't hit lefties in the game before that. So I think he's in trouble here against this Cardinals team. So I have them on the minus 1.5. May look to some player props to get involved in this game. Cardinals, one of the best teams against lefties. So when I talk anybody off the team total for the Cardinals as well, I might add that after the show as well. Mikolas, one really rough game there. But other than that, he's been pretty good. One rough game in Coors Field. Other than that, hasn't been too bad. A good win against Milwaukee the last game out. I think he kind of builds off that here. Nick, Cardinals, Diamondbacks. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, this one's an interesting game, and I kind of want to make a play on the dog in this one here with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And looking at it, the Cardinals, this was brought up to me in my chat earlier this morning, and I thought it was kind of interesting, and I just looked back at it throughout their schedule, and I think it checks out. The Cardinals have yet to win a game on the first game of their road trips, but the second game of their road trips, they're phenomenal. They haven't lost a second game, if I read that right. I think they're 8-0-8 on the first game of road trips, but 8-0 in the second game of road trips. So keep an eye on that. They don't like the first day of travel for whatever reason. This is also one of the bigger discrepancies in lines for from Fangraphs projecting the Cardinals should be around a minus 127 in this game, or plus 127 on the Diamondback side. You can get the Diamondbacks for plus 160. So I think that the value here is on the Arizona Diamondbacks in this game. I haven't officially played it, but it would definitely be a strong lean towards the home dog in this one here at Arizona.
All right. Well, I don't think St. Louis should be minus 120 on the road here against Arizona. I think they should. I think they're priced correctly, but that's my opinion. And then that streak, that is definitely something. I think they break it tonight. Dave?
I wonder if it's because of the veterans. They just don't like traveling or something. Who knows?
We'll have to see. Dave, Cardinals, Diamondbacks. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, well, I RotoWire and covers, and I haven't gone into the actual books. They're listing Mikolas, but ESPN's listing Dakota Hudson. So I don't know what's going on there.
Dakota Hudson's tomorrow.
I
think he is.
I might be looking at tomorrow's games. Okay, so I did a little crack before the show, and
that's fair.
Yeah, I was on the wrong day. Well, that just makes me, and then that's why I'm not on the game. Mikolas, I like the guy. I think he's a Alek Manoah-esque pitcher in attitude, not necessarily in skill. But he wears his heart on his sleeve. I've seen him visually get upset like a little leaguer and then pitch and scoff and mutter things under his breath. So I've been off of him, even though I like him and I think he's going to do well. I also think the Cardinals are a second half team. They're just a little too hot for me. And the Diamondbacks have been a bet on dog for me for the past week or two. I bet them yesterday.
Yep.
Good dog. And they're at home. And this line looks weird. Looks weird to me. The Cardinals that hot. I'm going to make sure I'm at the right line.
Minus 180, minus 109.
It still looks weird to me. It should be the Cardinals. If they're playing that well, I think it should be higher. Anyways, it's an off game for me, mostly because of Mikolas and because the Diamondbacks have been a bet on team for me. But I don't hate backing the hot hand. I mean, if you guys want to take a Cardinals bet, go for it. Find a way to get value out of it.
All right. Jay Shank asked Cards game or full game or both, or first five or full.
No opinion.
I'm on the full game. I didn't get to first five. But yeah,
I think it would be a diamond. If you like the Diamondbacks, you take them first five. If you like the Cardinals, you take them full game.
There you go.
It's the better team. You want the better team for more innings because the better team will win long term.
There you go. Next up, follow Nick and Tim at ESB. Follow Dave at Picks from Dave. You can find both of the links to their YouTube in the description below. And then our Twitter links will be there as well. Dave, something is happening tonight. I will put the link in the chat now for everybody. But tell everybody what's going on tonight.
Yep. So tonight at 8:30 Eastern, I'm going to be starting. I don't know if it'll be an every Friday thing or an every couple day thing, but basically it's what I'm calling a capper collective. And it's a bunch of cappers getting together to put all their different styles together because, we cap games differently. We see things differently. And I can't tell you how many times when I do my nightly capping, and I do it with these guys, I do it with some other cappers that I know. I do it just about every night. And you'd be surprised at how much that helps you. And really the goal, we're not competing against each other. We're competing against the books. So I wanted to put something together where anyone could come in, ask any questions. I'm going to have soccer cappers on there. I'm going to have these guys do CFL, which I don't do. There's going to be an opportunity for people to come ask us to cap a game and then not just get our picks, but watch us cap it. And I also want it to be casual. So we're going to sit around, watch games that are on, drink some beer, smoke if that's your thing, and just have a good time. So that's tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on my channel on YouTube, Picks from Dave.
All right. The link is right here. And if you can't click it, obviously, if you're watching, as I said, check the link in the description below and you can find the YouTube channel. I will be on there for I don't know exactly how long. We'll see how it goes, but I'll be on there. Nick is going to be on there. So definitely tune in. Going on to last pitch, and we will kind of look at the rest of the slate. One game that I did not touch on is the Detroit and the Angels game. I'm not backing a side in this game, but I'm going to take Matt Manning over 4.5 strikeouts, which I got for plus 115. We know this Angels team strikes out a lot. The reason why Matt Manning's numbers, why it's out of 4.5, obviously, is because he's not a hugely high strikeout pitcher. However, he did have 5 in his last game against the White Sox, 7 in the game before that against Tampa Bay. And then we know what this Angels team does when it comes to strikeouts. So 4.5 plus money, I had to take that. I think he can get he should go 5 innings as long as he doesn't get smashed or injured, knock on wood. But he should hit his strikeout props. I think here 5 isn't too much to ask at plus money. So I am on that. And I'm also going to look in the Seattle and Oakland game. Seattle has dominated Cole Irvin. He's faced Seattle 5 times. He's lost all 5 starts, and he has like an 8-something ERA. So he has not done well against the Mariners. He hasn't faced them this year. So most of that was from last year. But Gonzalez, he's been letting up runs as well. So Seattle, obviously a hot team that I want to back. But basically what I did is I took the over 7.5 minus 110. I don't think 8 runs is too much to ask. Yes, we know the Oakland offense isn't the best, but Gonzalez has been giving up runs, and Oakland's faced him a few times this year and has given up. He's given up at least 2 earned runs in all the starts. I think if he gives up 2, I think Oakland can probably get 1 off the bullpen, and I think Seattle will be able to score off Irvin as they have. So I'm on the over there. Other games that I did not get to, Baltimore-Boston, no real opinion there. Cincinnati is a lean for me. I know a lot of smart cappers are on Cincinnati today, and it's Bryce Wilson on the other side. Like there is definitely a pitching advantage for the Reds. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. Mets-Phillies, obviously, we know no bets for me on that game. But if I was going to take a bet, and if I was going to recommend something for you guys, I would probably be looking at Aaron Nola strikeout prop, but haven't exactly looked at the number. He has done well against the Mets, but no opinion on the actual side or total or anything. I would look at Aaron Nola strikeouts if I was going to look at anything. White Sox Guardians, Lance Lynn against McKenzie. I wanted to take the Guardians here, but I don't want to take them on the run line, and I don't want to pay minus 130 for them on the money line. I thought about putting them in parlays, but don't really want to do that. The White Sox have hit McKenzie pretty well in his tenure pitching career so far, so that's something to keep in mind. Lance Lynn, not a pitcher I can back, but has some good games, like all pitchers do. Astros, Braves, McCullers against Wright. I wanted to take Atlanta, but I don't want to take Atlanta at the price that they are at. I think they've moved. So now they're minus 112. Okay, so they were like minus 125, minus 130 yesterday. Now you can find them for minus 112 at one spot. Everywhere else is around minus 130. So there's 2 books there, North Star and Bet Rivers, that have them at minus 112. Everywhere else is like minus 124 to minus 130. So definitely do your line shopping there. And then Houston is around plus 110. Houston at plus money is definitely attractive as well. McCullers had a really good start in his first game, didn't allow a run. So it's ultimately a pass for me because I just don't know which way to go. Rangers Twins. Oof. Something's telling me not. I've made money on Martin Perez all year long, except for a couple starts that I've definitely stayed off. I think I faded him a start or two as well. This is a pass for me. I don't have a good feeling about it tonight, but I don't really want to back the Twins either. Padres, that was a mistake, taking the Padres first 5 minus 1.5 yesterday. Good job, Nick. On the under, you were totally correct. The bats were sleepy. Espino, not a pitcher I want to back, but if the Padres, who are overrated, and I said earlier on that I was excited once they got Soto and Bell because I thought I was going to make a ton of money on them, and that has not been the case whatsoever, surprisingly. But Blake Snell has pitched really well as of late, out of nowhere. He is starting to look like a really good pitcher again. So maybe an under, but I'm not getting to it. I can't back Espino, that's for sure. But if they can't hit Anibal Sanchez, will they be able to hit Espino? Was it that they were just off the road trip? Is that why they were tired? Or are their bats just...
Both teams traveled.
Both teams flew
2,600 miles.
Yeah.
Across 3 time zones.
Yep.
But could it also be that the Padres bats are just not as good as the people think?
I think there's money to be made fading the Padres. Absolutely.
Yeah, as Hader. So they made they got Soto, but they gave up a couple young reliever prospects for Hader. And if you watch the game yesterday, he was horrible. He hit a guy, he walked a guy, and then he threw fastballs straight down the plate with no movement and lost the game for Yu Darvish, who went almost a full game. So something's wrong with them. They're in trouble. But to answer your question, absolutely, Anibal Sanchez is garbage. I think it had everything to do with traveling.
No, he's a Cy Young contender for sure.
Yo.
But yeah, so we'll see what the Padres bats do tonight. I'm not trusting them. Yeah. That's for me. I was going to look at the first 5 minus 1.5 again, but I'm like, no, you're not going to burn me twice. I took the chance yesterday. It didn't happen. Not doing it today. Final game of the night, Marlins Dodgers. I haven't got to anything in this yet. I probably won't. My focus is going to be on the BC Lions game tonight. As I'm capping games on Dave's show, I'll be also keeping an eye on that BC game. So you can watch me sweat out on that one or be excited. And then Nick is against me, so it could be a little entertaining there. But back to this game, final game of the night. It is Marlins against a lefty. And as I have said, and you can check the numbers, the Marlins are the worst team against lefties. If Cleveland didn't exist, it wouldn't even be close between them and the other teams. And it is Tyler Anderson, who's pitched pretty well most of the year. Luzardo on the other side. Pass for me right now, but it would be a heavy lean towards the Dodgers. But their hot streak appears to have ended. We'll see if they can get another one going here against the Marlins, but it's a pass for me. Nick, sorry I rambled on so much. Long last pitch, but there's a pretty nice slate today. What do you think about the rest of baseball?
Yeah, let's get the bet stand.
Nick, he forgot a game. He forgot a game, Nick.
He forgot a game? Which one?
Oh, you know.
In the baseball?
Baltimore.
No, I mentioned it.
Oh,
no,
did you?
I just said their name. I said
Aaron Nola.
Notice.
I said take Aaron Nola strikeout prop if I was going to take anything.
I got you.
I'm not. So.
Yeah. All right. We'll start off with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, and during this last pitch, I'm also going to give the implied line according to Fangraphs because I'm going to start to track these as well for where there's value, and there's 6 teams that have at least 15 cents value today according to Fangraphs. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, the implied line is around -105, so this line's about to correct. I did get the Reds in the first 5 at -120. I did make my bets before I found these lines. So I did get the Reds on the first 5 at -120 because I want to back the most profitable pitcher in baseball so far this year, and that is, of course, it's Graham Ashcraft, the most profitable pitcher in baseball so far this season according to covers. So I am on the Reds there in the first 5. We have the Mets and the Phillies. This is one of the 6 teams that has implied line value, and that is the Philadelphia Phillies. They're projected at -133 tonight against the New York Mets. They're around the -115, -110. Of course, I'm on the other side. I'm on the Mets. I got the full game money line at, I believe, +108. Anytime I can get the Mets at a plus price tag, I'm always interested in that. They are coming in off of a game against Atlanta, which kind of does worry me a little bit, or a series against Atlanta. But this is just part of their gauntlet right now. It's Chris Bassett on the mound. I'm expecting him to go 7+ innings. I think that the Mets are a decent dog tonight. Another team with the line value, we mentioned this earlier, the Toronto Blue Jays. I stayed off that game. Boston and Baltimore. This line's a little bit of value towards Boston, actually. They have Boston projected around -120 tonight against Baltimore. So it's a lean towards Boston in that one. I did not get involved. I think we might see a dip in the Orioles starting soon. I think they're finally starting to regress, but we'll see. We've been saying that for months now. Royals and Rays, we already went over that. The projected line for that one is 195, so there's really no value on this game. White Sox and Guardians, I got the under 3.5 in the first 5. I love Trisha McKenzie, and Lance Lynn has been pitching much better as of late. So I do think we can see a decent performance out of Lance Lynn. The markets are projecting that as well. I believe this is one of those games where this line dropped half a run, even though the money and the tickets are going on the over. So I think that this is a good spot for an under here. And the projected line for this one is Cleveland -108. So there's some value here with the White Sox in this spot here at a nice plus price tag. They're not part of the 6 teams that have 15-cent line, but they have partial line value. Angels and Tigers, the projected line for that one's -132. So about right. It's about right. I'm on the Angels in the first 5, laying a half a run. Just the way that the market moved for this game for me really pointed me towards the Angels. Usually when the Angels are a favorite, that kind of like when Dave mentioned earlier, when like the Pirates are a favorite or when the Texans are a favorite against whoever, usually they're a favorite for a reason. I like the Angels in the first 5, laying a half a run. Houston and Atlanta, the projected line for that is Atlanta -107. So there is value, partial value here with the Houston Astros in this game. I think this game is priced about right, and I got the Astros in this spot at plus money with the Braves coming in off of a big series win against the Mets. They're actually the first NL East team to beat the Mets in a series this year. Previous to that, the Mets were 16-0-2. So interesting little fact there. But yeah, coming off that big series, I can see that as a flat spot. Same thing with the Mets tonight. But I'm on the Astros here at plus money on the road. Texas and Minnesota, I did not get to that game at all. The projected line for this one's -135 for mini, so it's about right. San Fran and Colorado, we mentioned this game earlier. There's good line value on the Giants according to Fangraphs. I'm on the Rockies, though. Next, we have Seattle and Oakland. I did not get to that game. It was a pass for me. Line value, points. This game should be priced around a pick of -107 for Seattle. So some line value here with the Athletics in that game. One of the bigger line values of the day, the Arizona Diamondbacks. We went over this game already, though. Projected line -133 for the Cardinals. My bad, not -127, -133. And then 2 big dogs to end the night. I did not get to either of the dogs, but I did get to the first 5 under here with Miami and LA. The projected line for that one is actually the Dodgers -175. So one of the bigger values on the day is the Miami Marlins. And then they'll close it out here, the San Diego Padres and the Washington Nationals. There is line value here with the Washington Nationals. The projected line was around -260 for this game for the Padres. So at plus 300, there is value on the Nationals to close out the slate. They are one of those 6 teams. So the 6 teams to close it out here, and then I'm done for this one here, are the Marlins, they're the Nationals, they're the Diamondbacks, they're the Giants, they're the Phillies, and they're the Blue Jays. Those are the 6 teams that Fangraphs gives full line value to as well.
All right. Dave, last pitch. What do you think here?
How do you guys feel about root beer? I didn't know root beer was so polarizing, but I thought
I'd rather put it in a square cup and drink beer.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone just chewed me out because I ordered root beer. I don't understand. But anyways, that needs to take a chill pill.
I'm not a dark soda person, so that's my opinion on that. I'm not a cola guy at all, so I don't like any of that.
I don't like the taste of beer, but I love root beer. But I do like pop. Cola, as Nick would say,
or soda.
Cola is what I call soda.
I just didn't think it was so polarizing, but I just got chewed out for ordering someone root beer. But they can suck it. That's
at least it's not Dr. Pepper or something like that.
Oh, Dr. Pepper is my favorite. One of my favorites.
Hey now, Nick. You know what? Bye, Nick.
How do you know?
If you don't like Dr. Pepper, you can't be on the show.
And Diet Dr. Pepper is the best diet soda.
For the record, I don't like Coke or Pepsi or any of the dark stuff. I like Mountain Dew and Sprite. Those are my top two.
Mountain Dew is cool. But I do like beer. But anyways, I only have two things to add, two games to look at. Guardians. I'm high on the Guardians. Yeah, Dr. Pepper is awesome. And plus that little midget guy that runs around. I mean, midget is like a pixie.
It's a sweet one.
Yeah. Like Prince's brother. I'm on the Guardians. They're 9-3 their last 11 or 12 games, and 5-2 against the White Sox at home the last 7. I like Tristan McKenzie. I think the White Sox series versus the Astros was a very strange series. I don't think the White Sox are that good. Everyone's thinking that they're going to make some sort of push. I don't. Lance Lynn is garbage. I don't care if he's pitched better as of late. You've seen he's like Giolito, who got totally blown up yesterday. And Cleveland's hitting a lot better than the White Sox over the last 2 weeks and last month. And Cleveland is one of my favorite second half teams year after year. They're the ones that squeak into the playoffs, and I like them. So I'm run lining them. I'm getting some plus money. And then for the Phillies and the Mets, that's the easiest game to me. You've got two pitchers that are pitching well. You've got two lineups that aren't hitting very well. That's what I ordered her, and she complained. Anyways, so when you have two pitchers that are pitching well and you have two lineups that aren't hitting, it's a first 5 under. So that's what I took. I didn't let the bullpens get into it. I'm hoping it's a Mets spot because I don't like the Phillies. Or Aaron Nola. I think he's overpaid. But those are my two picks. Yeah, he should be. Yeah, I don't know. Just not a fan of him.
All right. If you want more root beer talk, I'm sure we'll get into lots of
Are you gonna be drinking some root beer later?
No,
Yeah.
I'm no whiskey.
Oh, whiskey and root beer. There you go.
I don't drink whiskey because it really affects me. I'm much
don't
more.
like
If I'm gonna drink, it'll be vodka because whiskey
Tequila and
will.
rum and vodka.
All liquid substances, or besides like cough syrup and stuff, are okay. And then I'm sure guys will be smoking. That's fine with me too. I'm not monetized yet, so it doesn't really matter. So just don't show any female genitalia.
Apparently,
that'll get you banned for 7 days.
That'll give you a 7-day ban.
another channel. Yeah. Friend
Everybody knows what we're
they're obviously friends of the channel for sure.
Yeah,
we're not laughing at them. We're kind of laughing at YouTube for.
No, it's disappointing. And by the way, just to let you know, if you do follow Pub Sports Radio, this is a plug for my buddies. That specific show has like a 2-week ban. They're going to be going live on Twitter on one of their Twitters, either Dabs or Dutch's or Pub Sports. So that's going to be.
They're not on Pub Culture.
They can't. So everything moved over to Pub Culture. That show is completely banned for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that was live on Twitter a little while ago.
What we need Elon Musk to buy YouTube too. That's what we need. We need no censorship.
There we go. Richie subbed to your channel too there, Dave.
Fantastic. Thanks, bud.
And he looks and he's ready for tonight. So we will jump into the best bet segment. Things have been going pretty well for me in totals, which is surprising because I was kind of doing really bad there, but things are starting to move up. And I'm going to take Seattle, Oakland over 7.5. In this one, my only other total is the Colorado team total over. Dave has kind of scared me a little bit off that one. So I'm glad that my over here that I chose was the Seattle one. Seattle, Oakland over 7.5. Nick, you're going to go to the final game of the night. Miami and the Dodgers, and you're going to take the first 5 under 4.5.
Correct. Love that one.
Tim is going to go to the NFL, and he's going to take Carolina and New England under 40. And Ryan is taking Cleveland and the White Sox over 7.5 in this one. Dave, what do you think here for over under?
I like that Miami Dodgers. Did Miami travel? Or they were already
they
here?
last played at home against San Diego. So yes.
Okay.
San Diego.
No. That's not my bet. I'm just saying I like that one.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I'll delete.
Mine is Colorado. Mine is San Francisco, Colorado under 11.5. I think it's still at 11.5.
It's either 11.5 or 11. If Ian's never dabbed in the 2x1,
It's 11 right now. So I took it at 11.5. I'm fine with 11 too. It's up to you.
All
It's
right.
11 right now.
I'm not exactly sure what Toby's talking about here, but if Ian's never dabbled in the 2x1 bet waters one,
Is he talking about the same game parlay?
maybe. I'm not sure. IceX is doing a round robin times 55 wagers. Or how many legs can I risk losing in order for it to hit?
I don't do parlays, so I definitely don't do those. I don't do teasers. I do parlays.
I think round robins are the best way to do a parlay because you can still hit 3 or 4 and be.
That's what they say, but I avoid. I
say avoid parlays in general, but
yeah.
Oh, and he's talking about the 2x1 bet. 2x1 FanDuel bet.
Toby, are you from like Pittsburgh or something? Because you said if Yins never I know Yinsers are Pittsburgh people from Pittsburgh. Are you from Pittsburgh? Or are you from that area? Because
I know what he's talking about.
If Yins never dabbed, I'm just curious.
Cincy, Pittsburgh, yes, and Mets, Phillies, no.
You're always going to be better off betting the game.
2 hits in the first inning? Is that what it is? 2 hits in the first inning?
I'm not sure. And he is from Harrisburg.
Bang, got it.
And no run first inning in Miami Dodgers.
Love it.
I can't. I want to talk. If I was actually going to bet a Nerfy for the first time, that would probably be it. And
I've done that before with dogs, and you can hit 2 out of 4 and be profitable, I believe.
I have a guy that does it for NBA. Why make my life more complicated than it is? I mean, it's fun. My thing is college football. If I'm in Vegas at a book, I'll do like a 10-team parlay, just knowing it's like a slot machine. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll move on to dog of the day. For me, there is no dog that I'm backing. I am on Kansas City first 5 plus a half. But first, right, for the original rules with this, they will be changing when we reset the standings and football comes. You can do first half and full game for dogs starting then. But now it's still full game, so I won't change anything else until we switch over the standings. So I am on Kansas City first half, not full game, so they're not my dog. Nick, you're going with the New York Mets.
Yep.
Tim is going with the Houston Astros. And Ryan is going with the Detroit Tigers full game. Good luck there, Ryan. Dave, what do you think here? Is there a dog that you like today?
Yes, but I'm not going to bet. I like the Mets, but I'm not going to have an official bet because I didn't. Something turned me off to that. I don't have my notebook next to me, and I chose the under first 5. So,
all right, I'll lean towards the Mets there. Best parlay piece. I wanted to use BC Lions as my parlay piece, so I'm not going to use them as my best bet as well. So I chose BC Lions for my parlay piece. I love the Lions tonight. Nick, you were going with the Angels money line to beat the Detroit Tigers. Tim is going with the Mets plus 1.5, and Ryan is going with the Baltimore Orioles plus 1.5. Dave, parlay piece, what do you think here?
I like the Texans money line.
All right.
I like it.
There we go. The NFL play. I'll change that after. And then best bets.
Oh, just to clarify, I'm taking the points when I bet that, but for the sake of the show, I'm going to do the money line for the.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Best bets for me. My biggest bet of the night, 1.5 units, is on the Toronto Blue Jays money line. I think they got it together there. And the offense will keep going here and lead them to the full game win against the Yankees. Nick, you are going with the Cincinnati Reds first 5 -0.5 plus 110. Tim is taking the Blue Jays and the Mets both on the money line, a two-teamer there, which is plus 290, which is pretty crazy there for that. Ryan taking the Braves money line minus 122. Dave, what do you think here for best bet?
I was just looking at what it moved. I got this at plus 100, but it's minus 100 now. And it's the Mets, Phillies, first 5 under 4. And minus 110 is the best that it is now. So looks like I'm on the right side of that one.
All right. Perfect. We will quickly look here. Week 1 NFL is a good time to do it. Money line dogs for fun.
Yes, because I remember last year dogs absolutely dominated week number 1. You would have, if you bet $100 on every dog, you would have been up like $600 last year in week 1 underdogs. Yep, absolutely. Yes. I love this play. Plus 3. That's one of my favorite bets of the week 1.
How do you feel about? I know you're going to bet the Seahawks against the Broncos. How do you feel about watching even their starters suck balls yesterday?
Well, I know that their true starter week 1 most likely was not in that game. So
that's fair enough. I'm talking about the rest of their team. I mean, DK Metcalf wasn't in, but a lot of their line, a lot of their defense, and a lot of their offensive line and stuff played a portion of that game.
Yeah, I wonder I'm thinking about just taking the points, honestly, because I know that's one of those games where everybody's going to be on the Broncos on the spread or on the whatever, have the Broncos in their parlays. Is that line moved? It's a 5. I would take Seahawks plus 5 at home because Pete Carroll also knows Russell Wilson pretty well.
Yeah.
All right. For more of that game, definitely tune in. The Wednesday before the first game of the season, we'll have our first NFL show for week 1, and we'll go through the entire slate game by game. So make sure to tune into that. Make us like Seattle week 1 even more. I'll let everyone think Broncos.
Everyone's going to overreact to preseason games.
I'm going to probably be on the Broncos. So, me and Nick are against each other. It happens all the time. No big change there.
I won't have a decision.
I also love the under in that game because that's one thing that you're going to notice a decent amount of. Because I think I saw a number where the last 10 years, prime time unders Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night hit at like 60%. So keep an eye on that. Prime time unders.
All right, and that's the show. Make sure to tune in to Picks and Dave, Dave's channel at Picks and Dave. The link is in the description below to hear us capping some of tomorrow's games later on tonight. Make sure to tune into that. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you on later tonight and tomorrow. Again, tomorrow's show, noon instead of 1 for tomorrow's show. So we'll see you again. Best of luck to everybody tonight.